The Saiyan race was often thought to have been destroyed following the events of Frieza's wrath and wiping out the Saiyans for good, and through this we have witnessed many evolutions of so many different characters over the years. But what if I told you that there was a Saiyan baby who was lost in time, being sent crashing down on an unknown planet to where it is originally the home world of Beerus' species? Alone and forgotten, we set the stage for a brand new warrior to rise. As once more, before we begin, if you are new to this channel and have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball and anime related, then be sure to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single upload. And if you guys love and enjoy Dragon Ball and cannot wait to see more, then be sure to go on ahead and slap a big fat like down below by giving this video a big thumbs up, along with checking out the official Dragon Ball fan mangas playlist located down in the description box below, to where there you will be able to find all the latest and best Dragon Ball fan mangas created by the community for the community. So be sure to take a minute to go on ahead and check that playlist out located down below. As we kick off Dragon Ball Infinity manga chapter number 0.5 with a Saiyan space pod having to be shown traveling through deep space. As the narration goes on to detail, this may look like a black hole, but it is actually a hole in the space stream. The question as to what caused this rip will be answered within time, because more than anything, this story is about time itself and its importance. Before the age of Son Goku, we have the story of another young Saiyan thought to be dead due to his ship being thrown off course. And within the ship itself, we notice a young Saiyan baby having to be thrown off course, with the ship having to be lost within space-time itself. As of course, we later notice how the ship itself actually goes through a portal in which lands on an unknown planet, and eerily enough, one of the inhabitants of this planet who spots the ship coming crashing down onto the land is a being that looks eerily enough very similar to Beerus' species. Which, no, this does not indicate that this is Beerus himself. We've seen beings very similar to Beerus in concept, such as Beerus himself, Dispo, Champa, so this looks to be a being very eerily similar to that of Beerus in and of itself, as he seems to be cloaked by wearing this hoodie. And as this being slowly approaches the space pod, he notices how the space pod is in fact empty, as he spots a small child within the ship itself. And being that this entity seems to be that of a caretaker, proceeds to pick the Saiyan baby up and walking away, as the ship itself managed to crash land within a desert, seemingly based on the setting alone, to in which I am personally getting a mummy-like vibe, being that the setting itself seems to be very desolate, of course having to first take place within the middle of a desert, but also noticing the fact that this child is being taken in by a very mysterious figure. We later go back to a mysterious city in which does have pyramids, and personally reminds me of the ancient Egyptian times, as of course we notice this individual approaching guards with the Saiyan baby intact. The guards that just so happen to be out front also do resemble that of Beerus' species, as one of the guards further go on to ask, "What do you have there?" As they notice a baby within this individual's hands, they begin to freak out. One of them goes on to cry out, "What is that thing? Quick, go get the Pharaoh! Yes, right away!" As they further go on to freak out, one of the guards goes on to approach this individual by asking him, "Why would you bring that thing to the city? You don't know what it's capable of." As the mysterious figure goes on to reply, "You really think he's dangerous?" Basically letting the guards know that this is only a child, it's a baby, and what threat could a baby be of this magnitude, unless of course we're counting Broly from the original Dragon Ball Z Broly movies. But this Saiyan seems to be very calm, and of course it's sleeping. But as soon as the Pharaoh comes out, the second guard goes on to comment, "Hey, we're back." As the Pharaoh himself, who I personally think looks very, very awesome, goes on to comment, "I hear you found something interesting in the desert. Where is it?" As one of the guards go on to reply, "Right here, my lord." As Yo goes on to tell the Pharaoh he doesn't seem to be dangerous, he's only an infant. As the Pharaoh tries to get a closer look, he goes on to tell everyone, "I'll be the judge of that." To in which, as this little baby opens up its eyes, it's trying to reach for the Pharaoh, doing typical baby things, acting very innocent in nature, no threat being posed to anybody, as only then the Pharaoh so condescendingly goes on to reply, reply, "Get rid of it. We don't know what kind of threat this being could pose to our kind." As the guards agree, they go on to reply, "Yes, sir." But Yo goes on to defend the baby by crying out, "What? No, I mean," but the Pharaoh doesn't want to hear it, but instead, he goes on to reply, "What was that? Are you disobeying a direct order from me?" As Yo goes on to reply, No, sir." As the guards proceed to tell him, "Put him down. Now." And as they put him down, what's terrifying enough is knowing the fact that this baby is about to be killed for the simple fact that the Pharaoh doesn't want to take any chances in allowing this individual to one day possibly grow up and be a threat to him and his species. As we only then get to see how the little baby goes on to cry, everyone stops in their tracks. And I find that to be very funny because as the baby goes on to cry, one of the guards goes on to comment, "Forgive me, my lord, but I'll get him this time." As the Pharaoh then quickly stops the guard, he goes on to tell him, "No, that won't be necessary. He's pretty tough for such a little thing." As he goes on to say to himself, he could be useful if he's kept in line. "Okay, I've changed my mind. Yak, you seem to have found this thing. I leave you in charge of taking care of him and make sure that he follows our rules." As Yak goes on to reply, "Yes, Lord Noob, as you wish." As he then proceeds to pick up the baby, he further goes on to tell the child, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you from now on." As he steps right in with the Pharaoh and further telling the baby, "Oh, you're gonna need a name, huh? How about Taima?" As the manga chapter special comes to a close. Now, this is basically the origin story of how Taima arrived on Beerus' species home planet, because this is the species of Beerus originally. We don't know as to how far back this predates in terms of Beerus' existence, if Beerus of course comes from this world, but what we do know is that this baby was essentially going to be executed on the spot by the Pharaoh until the baby let out a cry that allowed the Pharaoh to say to himself, "We can use this individual as a pawn if kept in line." And this personally reminds me of so many different conspiracies such as the Anunnaki and the ancient text of those that came from planet Nibiru. This gave me a very Egyptian-like vibe, a very ancient vibe, which is very different in comparison to many of the other Dragon Ball fan mangas we've seen in this community. And I've heard of Dragon Ball Infinity many years ago, so I am very happy to see their ideas actually come into fruition here, as we're later going to find out what happens to Taima as the story continues. But I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below as to how you guys personally feel about the sudden turn of events from the Pharaoh in wanting to keep this Saiyan alive, as we are going to find out the fate of Taima as he eventually grows to get older, of course, in the next chapter. But again, I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below. If of course you guys want to go on ahead and check out more awesome content from the Dragon Ball Infinity creators, then be sure to go on ahead and check out their Twitter and of course webcomics links located down in the description box below, to in which I do believe that this individual Saiyan will grow up to eventually become the God of Destruction, but we will find that out and much more in the upcoming chapter. So again, thank you all so much for watching, guys. Once more, if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload. And if of course you guys are stoked, ready, and excited for more awesome Dragon Ball fan manga, then be sure to go on ahead and hit this video up with a big fat like. Thank you all so much for watching. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below, guys. Take it easy. Peace.
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead! Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
The fuck, Zarbon? Put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes. Jesus Christ, that's huge! What, Broly?
Frieza.
Uh-oh.
Prepare to die!